I'm Robert from Roughchild and we're at the bike shed. We got a new one. It's our new Cafe Racer. Today it is finished in Nero Daytona. It's Ferrari speak for a black metallic, very sparkly black metallic. It's got some green fleck in it. It's really cool. Color matched frame, ties in with the tank. And man, it's got a 4.5-inch wide wheel. It's like impossible in BMW world. It's the first project I was quite scared about undertaking, but we did it, executed it, and it worked. First time. It really wasn't that hard. Wasn't that hard. It's really hard, but you know. Also, new shocks. They've been in development for at least a year. That's a fully adjustable Öhlins with a custom top hat on it to look like the original BMW shocks. Obviously they're not because they're really good and they look really good. New gauge cluster. Got green gauges just like the original BMW. These are quite clearly Porsche inspired. And it's a GPS speedo, so it's always accurate, and an electronic tach. We had to adjust the red line. Nah, we did the graphics. Then designed the mount, custom aluminum mount, custom aluminum nuts. This all kind of started off because the guy that ordered this bike is heavily involved with Ducati. I forget in what capacity he is as the owners club. I think he's the head of the Northern California Ducati owners club. And I remember him vividly telling me that he was invited to the test ride of the Paul Smart before it was released, and they were asking him for feedback. Long story short, he was trying to elaborate how important it was to have a wide rear wheel because everything in his garage has got wide wheels. And he was concerned that the BMWs looked a bit pencil-y, in his own words. You look at it and it's got some beef behind it. This thing looks like it's going to go and storm Normandy, you know? I've just been pottering around Pasadena and downtown LA. Without sounding too artsy-fartsy, I think it's quite like brutalist looking. This is the first time we've put a rear fender on one. I've always been hesitant with the rear fender. I don't like mirrors and I don't like rear fenders. It's just something that, they always look clunky. And this one, I've spent the last couple of years thinking about how to put one on a bike without it messing up the design. And this little hugger is the solution, I think. It's bolted to a bracket which is welded to the swing arm. So it hugs the tyre and moves with the swing arm as it goes up and down. On another bike, we had to clearance the main frame because it was too close. It wasn't on this one. It was nicely far away. Basically, a 1983 would have come with a long wheelbase swing arm, which just means that it was 2 inches longer than this. I've put on a short wheelbase swing arm. The significance of this, we've got a solid drive shaft. In 1983, they had a cush drive in them, which is basically a big spring that absorbed the load and, in theory, smoothed everything out. I found a solid drive shaft just feels so much better. You're directly connected to the rear wheel. You feel everything. I don't want buffer and I don't want to be wrapped in cotton wool on the motorcycle. I want to feel it. I want to be in control of it. That's the biggest part of having a solid drive shaft. I told you we've got a 4.5-inch wide wheel. We actually shrunk them down to 17s as well. Then we've got a really high profile tyre to get back some height, but it's a small diameter wide rim. Stainless spokes, aluminum rims, been anodized, and of course Avon Spirit STs. I don't want to fool anyone. Putting a 150, 70, 17 on a BMW don't work. Don't buy them. Like, it's so much work to make it work. Buy the right size tyre for your motorcycle, kids. This is my custom made brake actuator rod. Come round, have a look at this. So, on the really early /5s, 1969 and 1970, they had a spring on the rear brake actuator, and they actually did away with it later because they realized it didn't really do much. But I like it aesthetically that I made the brass spring, put the notch in the brake rod, which is stainless, and I brought that back for air bikes. And then this pointer would normally be steel. We made that in brass, and a brass wing nut too. A high polish, all the cast aluminum bits. It's the little things, isn't it? It's the details. License plate bracket, can't ignore the little things. Got a license plate light for compliance, brake light and tail light, and then the turn signals on each side. It's at the right angle so you don't smash it with the rear wheel when you go over a big bump. Found that out first time. That was on Eric's bike. And he found it out. All of the rear end is custom built, right? So custom subframe, custom seat pan. Then on top, we've got an Alcantara seat pad with vinyl on the sides. But the really lovely part is that we've got there's a gel pad underneath where your ass is, and it just absorbs road bumps. It's quite a low profile seat, but there's two different types of foam in there and the gel pad. Genuinely comfy. And for a cafe racer, that's what you hear the old boys crying about, is these skateboard seats and whatever. And it's not, it's really it's nice. I would argue this seat is nicer to sit on than the reproduction seats that go on the factory /6s and 7s. This came from Motorworks in the UK, and it came from a British police fleet motorcycle. And this little storage box on top would be where they held the walkie-talkie part of their CB radio. Just another detail that I enjoy. Those tanks never came to the US, and we've got it in the US. That just makes it a bit more special, doesn't it? Carrying on the theme through the top of the bike. Of course, everything we do gets these weld-on levers. Our switch gear is hidden in the left grip. There's 4 buttons on this thing. Left turn, right turn, start button and stop button, and the high beam flasher on the back. Levers are welded on for less noise. Great thing is that these levers are actually longer, and the significance of a longer lever is that you've got more throw, you're further away from the pivot point. So people complain about a heavy clutch lever on these BMWs, infinitely lighter with the longer throw. It's a 2-finger job, not 1 finger. Don't think you'd reach. It's 2-finger job. The big conundrum with my handlebars is that maybe a decade ago I was putting bar end turn signals on everything, because in the 60s BMW used bar end turn signals. On this, you can't do it because you've got the throttle. The throttle is built into the bar, and you've got the throttle cable inside the bar, and you've got all the wires for the switches on this side. So you can't put a mirror on the end of the throttle, because every time you turned it, the mirror would be upside down, right? So I haven't quite figured that out yet. In the meantime, we've hidden the turn signals in plain sight, and they are in the auxiliary light. So these Marshalls, with their little nipples, they're on all the time. And then when you hit the turn signal, they become the turn signal. Stroke of genius one day after too many coffees. Now I know the critics and keyboard warriors are going to say, but this headlight does not go with your beautiful Marshalls. And we know that. This bike is going to live in woody canyon turf, and optimal lighting is required. So we have gone with the fancy schmancy optical LED headlight with 60s Marshall auxiliary lights. Wow. Oh yeah, we're back. Where should we put this? We put it back. It's my R69S over here. Might have to wheel that. What is that? 0 or something next to it. Yeah, what brand are those shoes?
PF Flyers?
Oh, I've got those too, and it's mine fell apart after 4 weeks.
You know, the reason that I love them is because
Yeah, I love them because they're not Converse, right? And it's better and it's more legit.
If you ever watch The Sandlot, these actually make you run faster.
Oh, no shit. Mine are Stepney Workers Club, and they're 3 years old, and they haven't got, they've got one fray here.
Yeah, but the fact that that's the only thing that you've got in 3 years.
When you think how many bikes I ride too, it's
All right, so what'd you bring us?
New bike day.
Hell yes.
So I got 3 bikes on deck. Vicky's busting my chops about the road to the show bike, because she told me I had until the end of the month as a deadline.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I need it on Friday. I was like, Friday? I'm having tailpipes made.
Yeah.
I'm picking them up on Friday. So I haven't test ridden it yet, but it's 95% of the way there.
Oh, all right, you need a proper test rider?
Yeah, for sure.
What's going on?
So I got 3 bikes on deck. This is the first one that's been finished.
Dude,
and
it's fucking nice.
Yes, my man. No cursing, it's for you two.
Sorry. If we could bleep that out.
So
this thing looks amazing.
I love that you love it from here, but check out the back end, because like all the BMWs usually get like a pencil-y rear tire.
Oh yeah, and you know that like the back end really encapsulates.
It's like so important. And like, I can't tell too much difference riding it.
Dude, this is nice.
That comes on when you turn the ignition on normally.
This is classy.
Hey, check it out. So the gauges I was showing you, they light up green, and the needles light up white.
Oh.
And the numbers light up green. New gauge cluster. And it's a GPS speedo, so it's always accurate.
That's nuts.
As long as you're not in a tunnel.
Yeah.
GPS speedo, because like they're always 10 out, right? Yeah. They just are. You never know. It's just nice having that confidence with cops.
This is nuts, dude. This is like modern technology, but like the classic.
It's the goal, isn't it?
Look.
And my first rear fender.
Yeah.
You didn't even see it. For the first time I put a rear fender on the Cafe Racer. And it's like
tucked away hidden though.
It's the smallest rear fender you could ever have. And it's attached to the swing arm. So like as you go over the bumps and everything, it hugs the wheel.
Yeah. I want to know what it sounds like.
Vicky always tells me off for starting them up in here, but it will start up pretty quick and easy.
That's all right. She could yell at me later.
I mean,
yeah.
If you're a Harley man, it's different.
No, but that is nice.
I've always I love BMWs. I really do.
Yeah,
but it's like, I'm also not afraid to point out the weaknesses. I know that normally they sound a bit...
No, but that exhaust makes it sound really nice. Yeah, it gives it the...
Yeah, but it doesn't sound cheap. It's not like you've just taken the mufflers off.
No. Yeah.
Smooth. These intake manifolds are from a Motor Guzzi, and I get them because they've got this little rubber grommet on the bottom so that I can put the overflow tube from the carb through it so that your foot doesn't hit it.
Dude, it's genius.
It's just like tight.
Yeah. It's the little intricate details.
For sure.
Like, I wouldn't have realized that if you hadn't pointed it out to me.
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to just see a black motorcycle. So these are called smart carb carburetors. And I'm not smart enough to tell you how they work. But their marketing spiel says that they're like fuel injection for carbureted bikes.
Yeah.
It's just a carburetor.
Yeah.
You know how a carburetor normally has jets and needles. This doesn't have any jets. This has got a metering rod.
Okay.
The metering rod kind of looks like a needle that would be in a carburetor, but it's flat and it's like, goes into a point. So as it comes up out of the hole, it changes the size of what would be a jet.
Yeah.
So it's a constantly changing size. So it's always the right size.
Yeah.
The really nice thing is that if you want to richen up or lean the bike out, you want to tune the bike on the fly, you can just pull the throttle cable up and then you turn this knob one click, lean, one click, rich, and you've just tuned your carburetor on the fly.
Exactly where you need to.
You wouldn't really need to do that in real life unless
you don't need to jam a screwdriver anywhere. This is like the proper way to do it.
So like if you're in the mountains, you would do it because you're like going into elevation. For me, I jump on the bike and my first ride around the block, like seat the rings.
Yeah.
Second ride, right, let's do some tuning.
Yeah.
And like every bike is different. So I'll end up like butt tuning it, butt dyno, riding along, I'm like, lean it out a little bit and keep leaning it out until you feel it negatively, riching it up one click. Bang. It's like, that's like a day of dyno tuning in 20 minutes.
100%.
Now, I get more inquiries about the carb. Don't ever ask me about smart carb carburetors. I get more inquiries about the carbs than I do about the bikes.
Yeah.
How did you make it work on your BMW?
Well, because everybody wants that.
And you do. It makes the bike so much better.
100%. And it keeps it with the classy look, too. It's not like an ugly thing to where you have to flip switches and such.
It's actually just really nice, though. And you can get them in different colors. I'm going to stop the advertising for smart carb, but they are the best carbs.
Yeah, not a paid promo.
This is me, too. Do you see this guy? Not that you really care, but, you know, it's 1 year only special order color R69S.
You know what I do wish?
Please.
On the bike? Is that they added grip on the freaking center stand
to get it off.
When I put it on,
isn't it bizarre?
Oh my. Yeah. Aside from that, it's a beautiful bike.
So in 1969, BMW invited customers to order them in whatever color they wanted. Yeah. Because it was the last year of the R69S. So the guy that ordered this ordered it in Baltic blue. This is the bike I was saying earlier. I went to the BMW dealership before it came to me. and they literally messed up everything you could mess up on an old bike.
Yeah.
And I got it, and I was like, this runs like crap. Like, what on earth happened? They used the wrong spark plugs, they used the wrong spark plug cap, they used the wrong spark plug cables, the carburetors were out of tune. It was just rubbish. And the guy had spent like $800 on a tune-up. It was embarrassing. Oh, and they put an easy clutch on it, which was like to reduce the load on the lever. It's like this little chain.
Make it easier to, yeah.
But they'd made the cable too long. Yeah, it looks good. Look at that. How tall are you?
This thing is nice.
Tell the people.
5'8", 5'8", and they
He's
can
really
flat foot
5'6",
this.
isn't it? Yeah. And look, it's flat
Nice.
foot.
Look, not bad.
Make these bikes fit, people.
This is nice.
Factory BMW, you've got to be about 6 foot to sit on it. Like, they're too tall. I was truly inspired by Tommy of Butterscotch, and he's got a Triumph Bonneville. I think it's a Bonnie. And he made a bracket like this for his bike, and I totally ripped off his idea.
Yeah.
Made it for mine. But 2 gauges, tucked really tight. I just think it's like super classic cafe racer.
100%.
Made the bracket, made the spacer and the nut for
I just
the
realized
clusters.
acquiring, so that's the GPS signal.
GPS signal. Anyway,
Yeah.
you won't get it through the roof.
Right, right.
And then this is the little antenna under here for the speedo.
That's just nice. Do you ever get a custom made with the...
Well, they don't just come with my name on. I get a lot of criticism for putting my name on everything, but it's like,
Man, if my bike looked this good, I would have
I'm
my
signing
name
off on
everywhere.
it. I'm
You
an
kidding?
artist.
Yeah, 100%.
Bang, go. This comes from Harley World. This is Harley chopper shit, you know? They were the first ones to do weld-on levers. Just turn signal, left, right, start button, high beam. This would be the brakes. No master cylinder. It's under the gas tank.
Yeah.
So you've got cable to the thing under there.
Just keeps everything neat and clean.
It's tight. All right, get off before you drop it.
All right.
Making me nervous. Heel. Heel in between the foot peg and the shifter is the kickstand. Atta boy.
Ah.
It's an art.
I have yet to perfect that art.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, thanks, mate.
Thank you. Kidding me? God, it's such a beautiful bike.
Love that you think so.
Yeah, I now want a BMW.
My man. That's what it's about, isn't it? You've got to win over the Harley guy. And at the same
100%.
time, you've got to win over women and children. And
Yeah.
I cruise through my neighborhood and like, they like it. They wave at me.
Well, I'd wave at you too. You're a
I
handsome
know,
guy.
I know, thanks.